Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Trey Ulrich. I'm the Senior Director for Alumni Engagement and Annual Giving at LaSalle. And today we are doing a first. We are that first part of a series that I hope to continue throughout the year, titled In the Kitchen with Chef Jeff. So a little bit about Chef Jeff before we get started. Chef Jeff is a graduate of the Restaurant School, Culinary Institute, and International School of Confectionery. Cooked and served meals for 3 U.S. presidents, Queen of England, and entertainers, and many celebrities. He's worked at large venues like the PNC Bank Center and Convention Center, joined Aramark in 2000. He's worked at Villanova's Conference Center. He's a 5-time culinary champ in Higher Educational Regional Conference Group for all his hard work. And he joined LaSalle's campus in 2015 as a resident district executive chef. So for today's presentation, I'll ask everyone to please mute yourself. That way we don't get any background noise. If you have any questions along the way, please use the chat feature, which is on the side of your screen, and Chef Jeff will respond appropriately. So I invite you all to sit back and enjoy the recipe. For those, the question was asked, is the recipe available? It's still online, and then I will follow this up and share all the ingredients again. I apologize if you didn't get the email yesterday with the link. The recipe is also in that. That email went around 4:15 yesterday, okay? So without further ado, we are going to watch Chef Jeff make his healthy summer barbecue menu with a salmon dish.
A grilled meat and salmon with lentil and cauliflower salad, and we're going to top it off with a lemon pepper slaw. The pepper part of it is pepper, right? Not the spiced pepper. So we're going to start with salmon. We have a couple pieces of Atlantic salmon over here. We're only going to do one, but we got some other folks over here, so we might be eating that later. So, with the salmon, there's all different types of salmon. There's king salmon, and that salmon's really good for you. So, we're going to go through this whole menu, talk about healthy, right? I mean, we don't know if salmon's got good omega-3 fatty acid, and there's wild, there's farm raised, there's Pacific, there's Atlantic, whatever. So, we have this 6-ounce piece of center cut salmon. We're gonna mix it with a little miso. So what's miso, right? Miso is fermented soy paste. We have the white one over here today because it's milder and it's nuttier. There's also a red one. The red miso is a little stronger and it's not really desirable for the season. So we'll have the recipe and all the breakdown later for you, but we're gonna add a little miso, which is going to be the base of our marinade. We're going to marinate the fish first. So we're doing everything in steps. So we're going to make the fish, marinate the fish, then we're going to make the lentil salad, and then the last minute we're going to finish it off with the coleslaw, and not with the slaw will stay nice and crunchy. So again, we have the miso paste. We're going to add a little bit of a soy sauce. You know, it's like a Japanese version of fish preparation, and then we're going to add a little bit of a brown sugar to sweeten the whole thing up because we have a paste that's fermented, so it's a little strong, so we need to soften it up, and then we're going to sweeten it up a little bit, so it's going to balance it off. So we're going to add a little bit of acid, which we have here, right, just a little bit to loosen it up, and we're going to add a little marinade, just a rice one, cooking. That's why we have the rice one vinegar to kind of balance it off. it up after this. You can add just a little bit of a canola oil. Just a bit of the whole thing now. All right, now mix the whole thing up. The marinade ready to go. Not much milk, but very easy. Salmon in here. Let it marinate. 1 second. Say this half an hour. You don't really need longer than that. You have to, unless you have to do it over that. Um, next, make the recipe a little bit more decadent. I added a bit of a glaze. So the glaze, what we have is a bonito glaze. Pretty simple to do. Sorry. So you want to know what a bonito is. So bonito is actually, it looks like wood shaving, right? And it's actually skipjack tuna that they filleted, they took the protein out, they smoked it for 15 days, and they aged it up to a year. So essentially, it becomes petrified. Then they use a little a scraper, I guess, and turn it into like wood shaving. So as you can see, and this is the stuff that the Japanese use to make miso soup. Right, so what I have is water, kelp, which is seaweed, dry, and then they reconstitute the liquid, the water, and once the kelp is, release all this gumminess from the ocean, then you add this bonito flakes to it. So it gives the umami of the miso, and you add miso later, of course. So all we're going to do today is have the bonito flakes, and what happens with the smokes is it's going to give the salmon, when we finish it, a smoky flavor. Okay, so for the bonito flakes, here we are. Looks like paper, very thin, it's dissolved, and it's incredible stuff. And then all we're going to do is add a little mayonnaise. And you say, well, mayonnaise is really not that healthy, but really you can use light mayonnaise, and we only use it a little bit just to glaze it, and we're going to burn it off anyway, so it should be okay. Well, I say we're trying to be healthy, not 100% healthy, right? We have a lot of good fat and protein on the menu today, so I feel pretty good. A little bit of a stint, not going to show you. This is what our glaze is going to look like once I'm done with the fish. It looks a little crazy, but it's going to souffle up. It's going to give this salmon a really intense flavor, smoky flavor at the end. All right, so we'll set this aside so we can move on to our next step, the lentil salad. Okay, so next we're going to do the lentil salad. Now there's all different kinds of lentils. We already cooked the lentil. Today we use the brown lentil, which is typically what the North Americans use. There's French green lentil, there's orange, red, there's also black. So it's really a global cuisine, right? And lentil is really good for you. Plenty of fiber, protein, and actually, I'm going to do it all. All right. So another good item for you to try today. So we have the green lentil already cooked. A lot of folks are really not used to cooking lentil. And if you like it a little firmer, you can always soak it in lemon juice or some kind of acid or vinegar for a little bit before you cook it. But I like it with a little firm, but chewable, right? want and however we want it. As long as we follow, the rules, right? How about mix both these? So we're gonna start making a vinaigrette, which is the dressing for this whole salad. We're gonna start with a little bit of a mustard. We can use any mustard. I would prefer grainy, but we have today. So we're gonna use a little Dijon, which is nothing wrong with that. And we're gonna add a little bit of a garlic, so it's chopped. Okay, I like it a lot. Now the mustard does two things for the vinaigrette, right? It helps emulsify the vinaigrette, and it also adds flavor. And it helps the viscosity of the dressing once it's all done. So we're gonna add a little bit of apple cider vinegar, the acid. Now, typically it's 3-2-1. Add 3 oil or some kind of fat. So we have a little mustard to help emulsify. So we're gonna see if we can get that happen. Make that happen. Yeah. I'm gonna use a little bit of a sun-dried tomato oil, which is recipe. You can buy them, or you can just throw some tomatoes on the sidewalk and on a sunny day, and hopefully in a couple of days you have really sun-dried tomatoes, right? So the trick is to do it slow. So we have the sun-dried tomato oil. It's going to help give a little bit more flavor as well. Now I'm not going to use all tomato oil because that might be too strong, right? I don't want it all to be sun-dried tomato oil. So I have a little extra virgin over here, which is pretty good for you, but not a good fat. So we're going to add some of that to it. Don't do it too fast. We'll do a little slow. I'll show it to you. So emulsification means that it turns to like a dressing, right? So that's where we're at. And we're going to have to add a little salt and pepper first, and then we salt and pepper again later once we add the salad together. I'm okay with this right now, so we got the dressing. We're just gonna start making the salad. Add the lentil to it, and I think that's a perfect amount, so we don't have to measure today. So we have the vinaigrette, the lentil. We're gonna add a little. We have onions. Again, it's a salad. It's what you like, so you can add whatever you want to it. Right? So we're going to add a little cucumber. So I want the different texture, right? And cauliflower. I did roast these cauliflowers earlier. You can grill them, or you can do just raw. They're all very good. So now we need some color. So we're going to add a little bit of a pepper. We chop some peppers up, and I also have. What are these? These are grapes. All I did was roast them in the oven with a little pan spray. And I did them about 50%. I don't really want to turn them to raisins. I want to have a little texture left to it. And it's really, really extra sweet. And it tastes really good. So we're going to add this to it. We need a little sweetness in our life, right? And we're going to add a little bit of hot pepper. Use any kind you like, you prefer. These are very spicy. These are Thai chili peppers. So they're very, very spicy. But I like them because they're small. And just gonna add a little bit. Or maybe more. I like it spicy, right? Now, with all that, I'm still not happy with it. We have sweetness, we have the lentil, we have cauliflower, we have onions, which is all great. But I think I want to add a little calamari olive. So I have a little bit of a saltiness here and there. And that's why we're going to season it again later, because we're adding a lot of ingredients in here, and they all have different sodium levels. And for the color, we're going to add a little tomato, just a little cherry tomatoes that we sliced. You're saying this is a lot of stuff. Yes, it is. I love a good complex salad, right? add finally just a little bit of a herbage. What we have, you can do anything you like, anything you prefer. But what we have today is cilantro, so we just add a little bit in there. It doesn't have to be super fine or super perfect. But what I like is just do it fresh or always last minute for me. Just, as closest to last minute as possible. So, and you're saying, well, we're not done yet. Exactly. We have a little bit of a sun-dried tomato oil that we used earlier. So it's going to give another dimension of the salad. And I think that's it. So we have to taste it. And the reason why we're doing this second step so we can have the salad set and have all this flavor marinate together, and so when we go to eat it, it's perfect. Make it right away and eat it right away. It just won't be as good, right? All this seasoning, all this flavor. Don't have the time to marry together. Okay, so that was the lentil salad. Next, the grilled sandwich. The grilled peanut. You don't want it too hot, right? It's a piece of fish, and most people do not. We do with salmon because salmon is a fatty fish, so it can take heat on the grill. You'll see people doing flounders or anything like that. They're too weak. Wash this off a little bit. Grill is nice and hot. And the fish should be ready to go. Should be 3 or 4 minutes on each side, depending on how fast the fish or how thick the fillet is. Nice. Got a shot. All right. So we're gonna let that go. Now we'll make the salt. And when the fish is done, we should be ready to eat. Okay. And again, if you can find the ingredients, you don't need to. Salt and pepper for the fish. Good. But everything else, all the stuff that we use today, you can find everywhere. And places you can find bonito and all the stuff. So anyway, for slaw, we're just gonna finish this whole thing off. We have further some green and white cabbage. Right. I'm not gonna make a dressing and then pour it over it. I'm just gonna. Well, maybe I should. Maybe I should. So you can kind of see it, right? Usually when I make this, I don't do it, but it's okay. You can do anything wrong. But I would not use extra virgin olive oil today because extra virgin is very strong with all the flavor. It'll kind of overpower the whole slaw. So we're gonna have a little oil, using canola oil. We're just gonna make a basic lemon juice, fresh lemon juice. Doesn't be fresh. Does the best. You don't want to use anything else, the concentrated or anything like that. We already have some oil in there. It's really not complicated. That's it. Mix it up with a little garlic, just a little garlic. I forgot. Add a little garlic because I love garlic. And a pinch of salt. And sugar to balance the whole thing up. We have acid, we have oil. Mix that up. We don't need to do a little butter to this dressing because it's a very light vinaigrette as well. Now we add a cabbage to it. And we might have to add onions. Looks nice. And we shave it. Then on the mandolin. And we have beautiful organic carrots, just 2 colors. So we julienne them really fine. Give a little texture to the coleslaw. And again, my favorite little red chili peppers. So like a spicy. The most important thing in this recipe now is the almond, toasted almonds. We're gonna cut up a little bit of a cilantro for the flavor, visual, and actually the flavor is pretty good. That's enough. Add a little bit of this to it. And that's it. And olives, right? You have to, okay? And when you toast it, you have to add salt to bring the flavor out. Because, and don't take my word for it. Because definitely look at your tremendous taste for everything I'm saying. All right, I think this. See, look how beautiful it is, right? It's gorgeous. It's really yummy, right? Right? And by the way, cabbage is really good for you. Really good for your digestion system. And not only that, if you uh, ferment the cabbage like kimchi or sauerkraut, that's even better. You know, health wise, really, really good. I want more. Just aside, I'm going to check on our fish. There's no salmon over here. It's been about 3 minutes on each side. And you see what happened to the bonito glaze. Well, here we go. We made that, and all we want to do is just put a little bit on here and let it finish it off in the grill. All right. But I also have another trick. So we can just let it finish, but I have a little gadget I'm using to get it extra yummy because I like it. Well, the extra caramelization on the fish. So you don't have to. It's okay. What I do is I torch salmon, and you see how beautiful it's looking. It's just quicker. That's all. All right. So for the interest of time, we're just going to do both of them. We're ready to eat. Start. Look at that. Woo! Okay. All right. So the salmon's done. We're ready to plate up and eat. We're gonna have Stephanie, my boss, come up here to help taste this because you know you don't. Somebody's got to believe. So here's Stephanie.
Hi guys.
We have the lentil.
Love cauliflower.
Do a little bit more. This is actually enough for about 4 serves. So we're gonna do 2 today. And then we're gonna put salmon on. Look at the color, right?
Ah.
Like that. Like that. And last but not least, we're gonna finish it with a little slaw that we just made. And it's gonna get the protection. And nothing but healthy.
Wow.
Ingredients in here. And just to round it off, in case, you know, for vision. And obviously, we're reconfirming the flavor of this whole dish. Sun-dried tomato oil. Yeah.
Looks like we're eating at a 5-star restaurant here.
So now we're done. It's time to eat.
It's a beautiful plate. Right.
So let's have a taste.
The verdict. That is really good. I promise.
All right.
Enjoy, guys.
So just turn it over to Chef Jeff. If you have any comments or anyone on the line has any specific questions, feel free to use the chat feature, or we could go ask them to Chef Jeff.
Hey guys. So I know it was kind of hard to hear, but you know, just our first video. So I guess we're learning. Even with the videotape, you know, we'll do a better job. Even, you know, with my recipe, of course, I revised it a few times. So I kind of missed a couple ingredients there. But, you know, often enough, we're cooking. So I you know, especially when we're making salads and, you know, you add stuff that you like to eat and, you know, how and how sweet you know, with your preference. So does not have to be an exact science as long as the basic technique and ingredients there to meet the profile. That's my method. So if anybody have anything, you know, I'll be happy to answer.
Anyone have any specific questions? Go ahead, Joe.
Yes, Chef, I was just wondering if you had any ideas for a particular dessert that might pair well with this.
Well, this is the summer and we're going healthy, right? I would typically just go with fruit because ethnically I'm Chinese and we don't really eat a lot of sweet dessert. So I will prefer fresh fruit salad for that, or actually maybe a smoothie to finish that off because this is really good for a lunch meal. Nothing heavy. That's it, Joe?
That's it, Chef. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Trey?
Yes.
Sorry, does the chef have any recommendations if you don't have your own torch? And I have a grill for my to use inside on my oven. I have a you know, a gas range. And I have it's a Crusette skinny grill. But if I wanted to try to do something with the glaze, would a mat work okay? Or
Well, I can answer that, Trey.
You're the expert. I couldn't answer it.
So what I would do, I would prefer a torch, and you can get them anywhere, and you can get them for as little as $14 with a small little culinary torch. I use a plumber's torch because we used to torch a lot of items. However, if you don't have one and you want to get the same result, you can just flip the fish over on a grill for a second or two, and that would definitely caramelize it, the glaze itself, and it just really add a smokiness to it, and you know, and that's all you have to do, really.
great, thank you, I appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome.
Hey, Chef, Mike Hollowell here. Question, any preference on the type of salmon? I think you said you had Atlantic salmon there. And then do you typically, in your grilling, I missed this in the beginning because of some audio, you grill with the skin on or off?
Well, as you can see in the video, we did not have the skin. I would prefer the skin. First of all, I don't like farm-raised salmon. They don't have as much flavor in my book. Atlantic salmon is fine, but you know, if you want to go with king salmon or the salmon from Pacific, that would be even better. However, they're more pricier.
Yes.
Whenever I grill, I would prefer to have skin on, and actually once you grill it, and the skin will typically just come off itself anyway, and it'll kind of keep the fish a little bit more moist, and, tender, it doesn't, you don't have a chance of getting overcooked and overburnt, depending on the grill, of course. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Chef, I was going to ask real quick. So what's the ideal temperature you're cooking at with the grill? I
Well,
live in the same exact grill that you have. So like, do you let it go real high for 3 minutes and then open it up, or?
No, I typically get it. You turn it on and you preheat your grill, and then I turn it down to medium for fish anyway. For steaks, I let it go really, really high. But again, depending on what kind of steak you're going after. But for this particular recipe, salmon's also for grilling, and so I keep it at medium heat, probably around, I don't know, 300-ish, maybe less than that. I didn't really look at that the temperature on that gauge, because the one we used, and it was working correctly, so I didn't think about letting you guys know about that. This is live and learn. For me, just to do a tutorial and kind of going, teaching other folks, even though years ago I used to teach at a restaurant school, that's more of a controlled environment. And, the question in the Q&A, like at the moment, so it's easier to answer. But that particular grill we use, I just had to go with my gut and my feel for it. But it was a pretty good grill, so it's a good medium heat, and it kept it pretty consistent. And if you stay on top of it, it won't get away from you, and keep it pretty good. And you can always touch the fish, and if salmon anyway, it will kind of flake off. But you don't want the fish to flake off, because the residual heat from the once you grill it, it will keep cooking it. So when you touch the fish, it's like steak. If you just feel it on the palm of your thumb over your over your thumb, and then if you feel that, that's typically pretty good. Probably around medium rare. You can take it off, let it sit. Visual heat will bring it up close to done. I like the fish to be just a little under. Again, it will be a little bit of preference.
Very good.
Did I answer your question, Mike?
You sure did. Thank you.
No, okay.
Does anyone else have any questions for us today? So again, I want to thank, on behalf of Alumni Relations, I want to thank Chef Jeff and the Aramark staff for creating this great recipe for all of you to have and share. I did record this session, so I'll be able to share that with all of you in a follow-up email. I'll also include the ingredients if you want to go out and replicate exactly what was made. But one of the things, another thing that I would like to do is we want to try to continue this series, but not only rely on Chef Jeff. I'd like to call on all of our alums to come out and participate. So maybe if you have a special recipe and you wouldn't mind featuring yourself, shoot a little video behind the camera, we'd love to share that and have you as a featured guest. So if you have any suggestions of alums or special recipes that you would like to share, and maybe you don't want to get behind the camera, but you really make something that is awesome and you want to share that with the community, I think I'd like to try to collect all those recipes, and at the end of this series, like maybe in May, do a collection of all the recipes and get them out to all the alums that participated as part of the program. Kind of create a little cookbook that you could have handy. In addition, I'd like to invite you, since we did cooking, why not have something on the drinking side of the house? So we're going to try a virtual beer tasting with Matt Lally, class of 2004, who is a brewmaster at Evil Genius Brewing. And we're going to host that on Tuesday, August 11th at 7 p.m. And And I welcome your feedback on any of the virtual engagement sessions, or if you have any ideas on future ones that you want to see, please let us know. We also have our alumni virtual book club. The second book will be starting on August 6th. And Mary Kay, I think I have you on the line, and I forgot to put the title of the book in here. I'll include that in a confirmation email, but I know it's by Lori Gottlieb.
It's called Maybe You Should Talk to Someone.
Maybe you should, I think I need to talk to someone after this.
You should get the book.
And it's on August 6th. The reading will start, and that's virtual. So I'll include a link in my follow-up email to all of you in case you would like to get involved with our virtual book club. We have over 230 participants in it, a lot of great discussion groups happening within there, and it's a great opportunity for alumni throughout the world to participate. Again, you're doing it from home. So thank you all for your time and participation today. And if you don't have any other questions, have a good evening.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Shep. Thanks, Trey. Thanks to everybody who came out today. See you at the next one.
Thank you very much.
You.
Yeah.